Hi, welcome. Video number 8. And so it's interesting, I thought I would be developing a series where you could actually buy into a subscription where we could go a little deeper. But lately I find I've been a little sidetracked. A lot of new energies coming into the earth at this time. And so I'm stepping back a little bit and just focusing on being at this level that I'm at. So I'm still happy to share with you more in the series of Be the Boss of You to help you in your journey. But I did want to mention that the energies are changing this year. This is 2013. And you might be noticing a lot of things going on. So I want to address that to a little bit of a degree too. So I'm going to start there and I'm going to tie it in to our whole theme of Be the Boss of You so it's easy to remember. The human mind likes to have a framework to reference. It's just easier to stay on track that way. So let's think about this. I'm going to give you a picture here. So here we go. Say this is like, I don't know, 5 to 8%. And then all of this 95 to 92 to 95%. This little teeny piece is what you actually have conscious control over. So let's mark that, conscious control. So really think about this. You actually wouldn't even be watching these videos or reading the things you read or study the things you study if you were really able to control more of your life experience. And so this is about what we have conscious control over. So the whole point of the series, or the way that I coach, is let's get really good at the part we can control. Now what's going on with the rest of it? Well, we're all familiar with subconscious programming. I don't know if I'm going to write all this, there's a lot. Subconscious things are going on. We have influence from gender, family, environment, our history, our emotional history, our mental history. We also are affected through mass consciousness. We're affected by the communities that we live in, the toxins within our body or the health of our body, our brain chemistry, our emotional balance, our hormonal balance. So we constantly have a lot of things going on that we're not even aware of. And it creates a huge framework. What we are in control of, we want to get really good at, because then you can have a better time. In the previous videos, I talk about you don't get to control your circumstances. We don't get to create everything here on this planet. There is a divine plan. There is a certain order of timing with things. Now, I do believe that it's speeding up, and it's a very exciting time to want to take control of that which you can control, which is mainly your thoughts. And what do we have also going in this a lot of times? Emotions. So the new energies coming in, a lot of people are finding that they feel a little bit out of control on emotion and thought. So emotion, thought, and even what we represent in the body can be a juggle for you. So I want to go there for a little bit first. So let's tie this into our analogy again of Be the Boss of You. So if you're really going to be serious about being a fabulous boss of your life, then what would this look like in that analogy, in a business analogy? Well, a good boss has some control. He can actually she can create a really good attitude of an environment. There's some things that the person overseeing can control, but there's many things out of the control. You don't know what the market is, you have no idea what's going to go on with technology, how it changes. You really don't know how you're going to manage all the different people coming together, both as clients as employees. And so let's play with that idea for us. If you have a boss that you respect and like, so think of somebody or a situation, usually a boss of a very successful company is going to work with a lot of different personalities. And they have to be able to speak the right language or hold the right space so that all these different personalities can work well together for one cohesive whole. Well, sometimes don't you just kind of feel like somebody else is running your thoughts? And you kind of wonder, where is that coming from? And then other times, do you have emotions come up that are inappropriate for the moment? Strong emotions that you can't really deal with in the moment. Well, think of different employees. Sometimes people are really intense, Or you might have somebody who's shy. You might have the really creative soul that doesn't really fit in the same way. You might have the person who asks 100 questions and the person who doesn't comment often. Well, apparently we deal with a lot of different aspects within ourselves too. So the goal is, how do you embrace all of this and have it work together for the highest good and for the best experience in your life? So again, we're influenced by a lot of different things. The most important thing you would want, if you did have a boss up you in a work situation, is you would want to feel accepted. You would want to be guided with wisdom and with authority, not abusive authority, not force, but with a sense of power towards a collective whole that is positive and that is beneficial and profitable. So what if you were to start looking that no matter what's going on in your experience right now, whether your body's doing quirky things, mine's had quite a roll since January, a lot of different stuff. Of course, I'm aggressively playing with a lot of new energies and enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the outcome of it. And yet the physical bodies had a little bit of struggle adapting to the higher frequencies, in knowing that that is a normal thing for the denser physical body to adjust. Just hit the mic, sorry. For the physical body to adjust, I can be patient and compassionate and loving and not go into immediately what's wrong. So I'm inviting you, whatever it is you're going through right now, I will tell you this: everything that is not in alignment with what you're desiring for your life experience is going to start showing up in a big way. Also, the way things are speeding up and the vibration on the earth, the things that we're speaking or thinking are bouncing back to us very, very strongly, quickly. So you really want to get in alignment with the having, with the feeling good. So how can you do that? Well, think of the boss scenario. If you have a boss who is in resistance to all the different factors, if they're complaining, if they're resisting, struggling against all the things that they don't have control over, what could be going on, how things evolve and change, it would make for a very stressful work environment. And yet we do that to ourselves. We negate feelings, or we think something's wrong with us if they're coming up at unusual times, or we don't even want to make time for them. Or thoughts that are looping. Your emotional body, your mental body, and even your physical body isn't out to aggravate you. It's not out to attack you or stress you out. It's actually desiring great communication with you. So what would that communication be? It's saying it wants to be aligned with your desires, with your consciousness. And yet there are some old programming, some old belief systems, some old patterns which aren't fitting the frequency you're expanding into. And so if you can come from a way of, what's the communication? What can I learn? How can I embrace everything to work together, even though I don't understand it all, even though I don't control it all? You're going to have a lot easier time, especially in this year when things are changing. So let me talk a little more about emotions. Emotions need to be processed, need to be felt and experienced. So even in the other videos, as I'm talking about choosing feeling good versus just feeling not as bad, or being in the having vibration versus the not having vibration, it doesn't mean to just repress emotion or skip it. But you do want to work with emotion in what I would call, for lack of a better word, a professional way. You want to be the one managing your emotions rather than your emotions running your show. I remember that my father, he had a lot of anger, not so much anymore. And yet, when we were kids growing up, he would say, "This is the way the good Lord made me." And it's an interesting thing to have witnessed that, believing, he truly believed at that stage of his life journey. He is different now. He truly believed at his life stage of his journey then that the emotions were running the show and there was nothing to be changed or handled there. And yet, if you're desiring conscious manifestation of more good, more success, more health, more wealth, more joy in your life, more creativity, more inspiration, you really want to realize that you are the boss. You are the one who gets to choose. You get to create with your thoughts, with your actions, and the emotions can be managed by you. So I'm going to give you a great tip that I've given to a lot of coaching clients, a lot of students. Do you have a dominant emotion that tends to run the show? So some people go into a default mode of sadness at almost everything. Some people experience overwhelm, stress at work, that sense of overwhelm, anxiety. I'm trying to think of what some of the others were. Really, it doesn't matter, just pick one. One emotion that seems to be running you rather than you managing it. And I'll tell you what to do with it. Schedule it. If you schedule it, that's tricky. Remember the video on integrity. This is really important in this. For the subconscious mind, the emotional body, the mental body, the energetic field to all work with you, they need to have faith in you and trust you. So it takes a little practice to start, but once you build up this agreement with your emotional body, you'll be very pleased with the success that you experience. So schedule it. So one of my dearest friends just sad, everything made her sad. It was just so much sadness. And I'm not talking about giving up compassion or empathy. Of course you're going to have that. But if you're having sadness to the degree that it's draining your energy or limiting you or distracting you from being fully present where you are right now, schedule it. Or even if it's overwhelm. When you're overwhelmed at work and you feel like you could be doing a better job, you could be more clear-headed if you didn't feel that sense of pressure and overwhelm, schedule it. But you have to really honor this. Set a buzzer for 15 minutes. Then when the emotion comes up at a time when it's limiting you, say, no, I'm going to be present with you. And I have scheduled time for that and I will show up. But right now, I want to stay focused on what I'm doing and be in presence. And if you actually schedule the time and sit there, so how do you do that? Put the buzzer on and then think thoughts. Then imagine or have memories or whatever it is and allow that emotion to fully express in your physical being, in your emotional body, and have your mind in attention of it. If you do this consistently, your buzzer, eventually you'll be very bored with 15 minutes is too long. You'll have to make it shorter periods of time. But you're actually building a relationship with the emotional body so that you aren't repressing emotion, but you're the one running the show. When is it appropriate to deal with it? So think of that in our big analogy of be the boss of you, and that is appropriate. You want to work with people at work who act very professional, that aren't overrun by emotions at the workplace. It doesn't seem appropriate. Well, you can also live at this level and create a better partnership with the things that we don't really understand. We don't really understand overwhelming emotion or why we would hold an emotional state that actually limited us. But it happens in the human experience. It's just part of it. Instead of fighting it, resisting it, criticizing it, judging it, why not work with it, embrace it, and partner with it? And so I'll wrap up this video now and give you more in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.